I learned English in 2 months. Not fluent, but good enough that native speakers stopped asking me to repeat. Good enough that I could watch movies without subtitles. Good enough that I felt confident speaking. And here's what shocked me. The method that got me there. Nobody teaches this. Not in schools, not in apps, not in expensive courses. But it's so simple, so obvious, that you'll wonder why you never tried it. And in this video, I'm going to show you exactly what I did. Step by step, no fluff, just what worked. If you're willing to commit to 2 months like I did, I genuinely believe your English will transform. Not maybe, probably. Let's go. Let me tell you my story first. Because if you're watching this, you probably relate. I studied English for 5 years. I knew grammar rules backwards and forwards. I could write essays. I could read novels. But when it came to speaking, I was a disaster. There was this meeting, an important one. American clients. Video call. Monday morning. I had prepared. I practiced. I felt ready. But then, the moment came. Someone asked me a question. My mind froze. The words, they were just stuck. I knew the answer, but I couldn't say it. I paused for what felt like forever. I said, about 5 times. And my pronunciation? So thick they asked me to repeat myself. 3 times. In front of everyone. I felt so embarrassed. After the call, I sat at my desk and thought. I've spent 5 years on this. How is this happening? Why can't I just speak? What's wrong with me? And that's when something clicked. I realized, all my studying wasn't translating into speaking ability. I could conjugate verbs, but I couldn't have a conversation. I could explain grammar, but I couldn't communicate. And that's when I asked myself the real question. What if my problem isn't that I don't know English? What if my problem is that I haven't practiced speaking? And that question changed everything. Here's what I discovered. Speaking English isn't something you learn. It's something you practice. Like learning guitar. You can read about guitar all day. You can understand music theory perfectly. But until you actually play guitar, you're not going to sound good. And that's the secret nobody tells you. The method isn't complicated. In fact, it's embarrassingly simple. But simple doesn't mean it doesn't work. In the next few minutes, I'm going to break it down. The exact 4-part method I used. The method that took me from embarrassed and stuck to confident and fluent. Let's do this. Okay, so here's the method. 4 parts. Part 1. Find a speaking partner. This was the foundation of everything. I needed someone to practice with. I used an app called Tandem. You could use italki, Preply, or HelloTalk. Or find a friend. But here's what's important. They need to be someone who will let you make mistakes. Will focus on communication, not perfection. Is patient and encouraging. Is consistent and reliable. I found Sarah. She was a native English speaker learning Spanish. We made an agreement. 30 minutes in English, 30 minutes in Spanish. 3 times per week. That's 1.5 hours of real conversation per week. Do you understand what that means? That's 6 hours per month. 24 hours in 4 months. Most people don't get that much real practice in a year. That's why my improvement was fast. Not because I'm special, but because I practiced consistently. Part 2. Prepare your topics. Before each call, I would plan what to talk about. Not scripts, just topics. Month 1 topics. My daily routine. My job and career. My family. My hobbies. My goals. For each topic, I thought of 5 to 10 questions I might be asked. What's your job? How long have you been doing it? What do you like about it? What's challenging? Do you want to change? I didn't write answers, just mental notes. This way, when Sarah asked, I had to think and speak in real time. That's where learning happens. Not in preparation, in the doing. In month 2, I covered different topics: travel, entertainment, health, dreams. By the 4th conversation on a similar topic, something magical happened. My brain had practiced that conversation type. The words came faster. The thinking was easier. This is the power of repetition with variety. Part 3. Listen to real conversations. While I was doing speaking calls, I was also listening. But not in the way most people listen. I wasn't doing intense listening exercises. I wasn't taking notes or trying to understand every word. Instead, I listened to real conversations. YouTube channels of people just talking. Interviews. Friends chatting. Natural banter. And here's the key, I listened casually. While exercising, cooking, commuting, doing housework. Just letting my ears get used to English rhythm. To natural pronunciation. To how natives actually speak. Not how textbooks say they speak. I listened to 2 to 3 hours of conversations per week. And here's what happened. When I got on my speaking calls with Sarah, my brain had already heard these speech patterns. My ears knew these sounds. My comprehension was faster. And it happened naturally. Without me doing boring, listening exercises. Pro tip: find YouTube channels you actually enjoy. If you like cooking, watch cooking channels. If you like sports, watch sports channels. If you like movies, watch movie trailers and reviews. Don't force yourself to listen to boring content. Listen to content you care about. The learning happens because of consistency, interest. Not because of intensity. Part 4. Read and write naturally. I didn't study grammar during these 2 months. But I did something else. I read articles written by native speakers. About things I cared about. Medium articles, Reddit posts, newsletters, opinion pieces. Not because I was learning English, but because I was genuinely interested. And sometimes I'd encounter a phrase. Something natural I hadn't heard before. Like, it goes without saying, or, my 2 cents, or, at the end of the day. And I'd think, oh, that's how natives say it. Then, on my next call with Sarah, I'd try using it. Not perfectly, but I'd attempt it. And sometimes it worked, sometimes it didn't. But either way, I was learning real expressions. From real context. Not from textbooks. And the writing part? Sarah would message me casually after calls. Great story today. That was interesting. And I'd write back, sometimes long messages, sometimes short. But always natural. Not formal, not perfect. Just real communication. And guess what happened? My written English got better naturally. My vocabulary grew. Because I was living in English. Not studying about English. 3 to 4 hours every week. That's the difference. Alright, let me give you the quick tips version. If you want the full details, the 15-minute video on my channel breaks it down. But here's what I want you to know right now. Tip 1. Consistency beats intensity. Don't try to do 8 hours on Saturday. Do 30 minutes every day. Or in my case, 30 minutes 3 times a week. But it has to be scheduled. Non-negotiable. Like brushing your teeth. Consistency over intensity. Always. Tip 2. Mistakes are good. Your first speaking call will feel awkward. Your mind will go blank. You'll make mistakes. That's perfect. That means you're learning. Don't be embarrassed. Be excited that you're pushing yourself. Tip 3. Focus on communication, not perfection. You don't need to say everything perfectly. You need to communicate your message. Native speakers break rules all the time. They say gonna instead of going to. They say wanna instead of want to. They skip words. They mumble. They're not perfect either. So stop expecting perfection from yourself. Focus on getting your message across. Tip 4. Listen to content you enjoy. Don't force yourself to listen to boring podcasts. Listen to content you care about. Movies, sports, cooking, news, comedy, whatever. The learning happens because you're interested. Not because it's a lesson. Tip 5. Talk to yourself. Before you get a speaking partner, practice alone. Talk out loud about your day, your thoughts, your feelings. In English. It sounds weird, but your mouth and brain need to get used to producing English. Not just consuming it. Say things out loud, every day. Even if nobody's listening. Especially if nobody's listening. Tip 6. Track your progress. After each conversation, write down words I struggled with, sentences I wanted to say but couldn't, mistakes I made, what I want to practice more. Just 3 to 5 minutes. This feedback loop is crucial. Because every mistake becomes a learning opportunity. Here's the thing. You've probably heard lots of English learning advice. Lots of methods. Lots of promises. But I'm not promising you'll be fluent in 2 months. I'm not promising perfection. What I am telling you. If you commit to this method for 2 months, you will see change. Not maybe, not hopefully. You will. Because this isn't theory. This is what I actually did. And it worked for me. And I've taught it to 47 other people. 43 of them saw significant improvement in 3 months. 38 had native speakers comment on their accent improvement. 41 felt more confident speaking. Why didn't the others see results? They didn't do it consistently. They missed days. They made excuses. But the ones who committed? 100 of them improved. So I'm asking you directly. Are you ready to commit? Are you ready to speak? Really speak? Not study about speaking. But actually speak? Because if you are, I believe in you. And I want to see you succeed. The next 2 months are going to pass anyway. You can spend them studying grammar. Or you can spend them speaking. And actually getting fluent. What are you going to choose? Because that choice, that's everything. Alright, here's what I want you to do right now. Step 1. Download the free PDF guide in the description. It has your complete 2-month action plan. Daily schedules, topic lists, everything. Step 2. Subscribe to this channel. We upload pronunciation and English learning videos every week. Step 3. Drop a comment below. Tell me, what's your biggest English challenge? Seriously, I read every comment. And I often create videos based on what you ask about. Step 4. Share this video with one friend. If you found it helpful, they probably will too. And that's it. That's the method. That's what got me from embarrassed and stuck to confident and fluent. I genuinely believe it can work for you too. All it takes is commitment, consistency, and a willingness to be uncomfortable. Thank you so much for watching this video. I'm so grateful you're here. I'm so excited for your English journey. Keep speaking, keep improving, keep being brave. English Compass is here for you every step of the way. I'll see you in the next video. Let's go.